Welcome to the round table. I am Jennifer Eller, and my team with me today is Michael. Yeah, you're my team now.
Got it.
Michael.
Changes. Do you ever listen to the podcast?
Little parts.
Yeah.
I thought we might just actually get through it without messing it up.
No, we didn't ever mess it up. It just changes all the time. And
It does
funny.
change. I try to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then our producer, Nick Wilson. And today we have newlyweds, Juan and Becca Martinez.
How newly is newly?
That's what I was going to ask. How many days married?
A month and a day.
A month and a day.
Yeah.
She
June
probably didn't think I knew that.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, are you good at remembering dates?
No.
No. So you got to make sure you put it in your phone.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has it like as a reminder when we were like dating.
Yeah.
He would have like
Of
a
when your
reminder at
dating
like
anniversary
midnight.
was.
So he would say
1
it
year.
first. It would be at midnight.
Yeah, so I
he
could
would
say it
say
first.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Rain on my parade. Geez.
Yeah. Aw. So what is the most interesting thing you have learned for being married for a month and a day?
Whoa.
Something that you didn't expect. Or something that maybe is better than what you thought.
From dating to marriage?
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe they knew each other so well
Maybe.
that when they got
Honestly,
married.
we're kind of like the same human sometimes.
Yeah. Very similar. Yeah, honestly. Very like thought process.
Yeah.
One's over there like,
What we're about to say.
yeah.
Like I was just going to say the same thing. No, I'm kidding.
I'll say something. He was like, dude, I was just thinking the same way.
Yeah. And
So-
I'll do the same thing.
So that's really fun because, like, you know, sometimes people who are like super similar, they don't get along at all. But like Juan and I feel like we're very similar and we get along really well. So that's really nice.
Did you know each other for a long time? Like, before, was the dating process long?
Yeah, our engagement was long.
Oh.
We got engaged in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also in school. He wanted me to get finished with my bachelor's degree. But now I'm
Wow.
back in school, so
What?
Yeah.
By choice?
yeah,
Ugh.
it was volunteered.
Okay. Yeah. What made you want to go back to school?
You can't do anything with a biology degree.
Oh.
Unfortunately, at least in Indiana. I mean, what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to school for medical lab science now, so no one knows anything about that.
Yeah, so tell us, what is it? Medical lab science.
So the easiest way I can explain it to like someone that has no idea.
To us idiots.
Right.
Go ahead and say it. To us non-educated, non-biological biology
So
people.
when you go to the hospital and like drop any kind of like specimen off, so like you get your blood drawn or you have to go to the bathroom in a cup, it gets sent to the lab and I will deal with all that stuff. So I'll like analyze blood and that, you know how like you go on my chart and you see all your results? I result.
That'll be her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, will you be like actually
Messing with your blood?
and other things?
Yep. Yeah.
The
Like,
reason I say that is Luke Bates
yes.
does
He works
something.
in micro.
Yep.
He works in
And
micro at PRMC.
So at Felice's graduation party, they're like, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever had to mess with? And he's like, a scrotum.
What?
And I'm like, you had a whole scrotum? Like, I mean, a whole, what?
No, I'm just listening. I'm in
Because he
awe.
got
Like,
like
what?
gangrene or something, and so he had to like.
Yeah, there's been whole, like a
That's what I'm
whole
saying.
leg.
The first thing when she said it, I'm thinking you're really gonna
You're
be
like, no way.
You're gonna
No way
be
you're messing
cutting
with
up.
that.
Oh,
And wants
my.
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There
what I
was,
mean.
Yeah.
No, there was a whole leg that was sent down to the lab one time.
leg?
Yeah, like literally from
Yeah,
thigh
he said
down.
something about a leg too.
He works in micro though, so he gets nasty stuff.
Okay, meaning micros like the.
Microbiology. So like if you get like a bacterial infection, a lot of that stuff goes to micro.
Got it. So you'll work in the non-disgusting part.
Well, I mean the lab is just disgusting to begin with. But I might have an interview at Huntington Parkview.
Oh wow.
And that's like more generalist, so you like do everything. Luke does like straight micro, which is really cool. But
Just like, did you grow up thinking someday I want to analyze things in a lab?
when
Like,
I
are you
was a
that-
kid, I was like, I want to be a scientist.
Did
That
you
was
really?
literally my thought
Wow.
process.
That's awesome.
In like 4th grade, we had Jell-O, And we made a like cell out of Jello, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
I love that.
Yeah.
You just hardly ever see that.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who wants to be a scientist.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, Juan, we have to know what you do. So what do you do?
I'd work at a machine shop here in Huntington.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. I work with Kenyon
Oh,
at
really?
PhD.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
And
So did you get apprenticed or did you go to school for
No.
machining? Because it's
No.
a PhD a machine shop?
like CNC stuff. I don't run a machine.
Okay.
At least not yet. I work in assembly, and they just do on-the-job training.
Oh, wow. That's
But you have
awesome.
ran machines, so they've like trained him on the job.
Yeah.
So what does PhD make? Like,
Probably,
what comes out of the
probably
machine?
knees or something.
like, I
Elbows.
don't know.
There's a lot of stuff, but the easiest way I can describe it is usually there's like a cylinder like this. Air will go in one side, and a pole will shoot out the other side, and then air will go on the other side. It'll shoot back in.
It's just like hydraulics.
So it's like automation type of deal.
Oh, really?
So like we watched a video of all these, let's just say Coke bottles going through. There was 10 of them and one of them was bad. And so our product, like these 10 are going through and it just went boosh and pushed the one that was bad out.
Really?
I've heard some crazy stories about what people will do with our stuff.
So has that always been your passion to be a machine worker? Or it just
I
works
wanted
out
to
good?
be a teacher, like a history teacher. But
Okay.
then I was just going back and forth between college. Like, I was like, is it really worth it? Like, teaching was the only thing I can see myself doing, but I'm going to make more money doing other stuff. It just didn't make sense,
Yeah.
like, at the time. But I'm glad I stuck with working the workforce.
Like you like all kinds of history? Or is it just like specific periods of history?
I just thought it was cool. I don't know.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, history teacher, it didn't have to be history.
Yeah.
I thought gym teacher would be cool. I like doing stuff like that.
I could see you doing that.
Stuff like, I don't know.
Being a
just-
gym teacher?
Yeah, just doing
He's got
like
gym
teacher
shorts
stuff.
and
Yeah.
shoes and shorts and that looks like a gym teacher.
He's got the
That's
look of a
common.
gym
He's
teacher.
got the look that I don't know. I could see that.
Yeah.
I
But
can see
no,
that.
just stuff like that.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So, were you believers when you started dating? Because, we just even talked on Sunday. It's like you date to marry, So, has God always been in the foundation of your dating years? And so, do you both grow up as believers then?
Yeah. I would say that we made it a priority to make God at the center of our relationship. I would say that I believed in God, but I wasn't like a Christian all throughout my like middle school, high school age. It wasn't until college, because I went to Huntington, that I like actually really took it seriously, and I found it to be like really important. And I think it was just like it had something to do with like my mom's upbringing. She was brought up Catholic, and that was like a pretty toxic environment, and she just walked away because it was really hard on her because her dad passed away and like all this stuff. So she's finally like coming around again, and she watches Life Online. So it was really nice to see her like go through that and like, I don't know, become a Christian and like really be in her faith now.
Yeah. God's always been a priority for us. I would say here, like since we've been coming to life, because at first we were going to like other churches, kind of like searching around. We've been really focused on just trying to be more like Jesus.
Yeah, so what is your story? Did you guys have high school sweethearts? Did you date forever? Like, I don't know anything about.
I don't either. So it's like she went to college, he did it. So I'm like, how did you guys meet?
So we got a friend. Juan went to Huntington North. I went to Huntington University. So Juan had a friend at Huntington North
That one time
that went to Huntington University. I met them, kind of match made there.
Okay.
So you
I
like
guess.
out with your friend one day and ran into her, or he?
I don't
just
know. We
decided
were
to
like
set you up?
Snapchatting or something.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
had chose Snapchat.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't that
Hey,
such
now
a
dating started.
such
just
a typical
Now look
thing
at us.
now? Yeah.
Honestly.
Our first date was at Chava's. And then the second date was at Chava's, and the third date was at Chava's.
No.
Honestly.
Wow.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And is that because you love Chavez?
Both.
That was the first time I ever
Okay.
went, I think, honestly. And I got a chimichanga. Now I get a roast con pollo, naturally.
So that's the thing, that you get the same thing every time you go?
Yeah.
I try to switch it up, but we usually go to Macati's now.
Oh,
We
really?
switched it up, yeah.
What happened?
Big portions now.
Yeah.
We like
Just
our
portion
food.
size.
Yeah.
And prices. Like, I don't know. I don't want to dog on.
Go ahead, dog on it.
Okay.
It's okay.
Chava's, like, has small portions, and the prices, like, aren't comparable. Macati's has, like, a large portion, and the
And
price
it's more
is
expensive,
fair.
but like you can take that
It's
home.
a fair price,
You
though,
get
I
second
feel
meal,
like,
yeah.
you know?
Right. Do you remember when, like, Macati's was just there before Chavez ever, you know, because we were looking at that facility to put in a Dunkin' Donuts. So
Really?
because I was like just ready to pull the trigger. I thought, let's put in a Dunkin' Donuts. I think that'd be perfect for Huntington.
That'd be
Great
awesome.
another business. It doesn't really compete with the cafe because Dunkin's way different than what the
Yeah.
cafe is. And then I think it's one of the people from Macati's went to Chavez to open it, right? Like one of the original.
Maybe.
I'm pretty
I have
sure.
no
it
clue.
is. Yeah. So then he goes over there. Well, then there was this competition. And so you remember when Macati's used to have the buffet?
Yeah.
Yes.
They had a buffet.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a full.
I only went there,
it was
there
a
one time. but
full-blown
yeah.
Mexican buffet.
Like on
Yeah.
Sundays. It goes.
Was it? I don't
I
remember.
remember going.
I
That
just know that you
sounds
could go there and get a
amazing.
full-blown Mexican buffet. And I'm like, geez, I never would have thought this was the case. But they were losing tons of business, you know, when Chavez first opened.
Because Chavez was better at the time when
Oh,
they first
yeah.
opened.
Chava's, the taste is really good.
It tastes
It's
really
just-
good, but it's, I don't know. I feel
It's
like
a rip-off.
kind of dirty. Like when I'm drinking the water, I'm like, I'm drinking dishwater. Like I don't
I
know.
am so sorry,
Me
Joel
personally.
and Chavez.
Sorry,
we love
Chavez
you.
fans.
We do love you.
I love Taco
Chavez.
Tuesday, but
Joel, he owns it.
I just
Joel.
won't drink the
Joel,
water.
Yeah.
How do you know Joel?
Because he would be in there when we first started going in there.
Is
Because
Joel Hispanic?
yeah,
That is not a
yeah,
Hispanic
his daughter's
name.
name's Jenny.
Jenny.
How do you get? There's no way.
I don't know, but he would, yeah. And even if we go in now and he's there, he remembers us. He always remembers what Emma got because it was a taco shell, but she had refried beans and queso on top of it, and she would.
Hey,
dip it.
Joel, step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
If you listen to the podcast,
Get your clean
But
we're
I-
just giving you real reviews. Come on.
yeah.
I liked it more when it was like a chipotle, when you could go in there
Yeah.
and you made whatever you wanted.
Oh,
My
yeah.
taco salad was amazing, how I got it, and I just can't get that.
I had
We do like Chavez. I like Chavez.
I
so.
missed out a lot.
Yeah, you used to be able to like pick just like Chipotle what you wanted. It was awesome.
And
Yeah.
it used to be like a hot dog place before that.
Yeah, Mighty Dog.
Yeah, and then before that it was Long John Silver, and before that it was.
It was actually a Japanese steakhouse too.
Japanese steakhouse and
Yeah, I
that
never
tiny
went in
thing.
there at that. I just
Yeah.
couldn't bring myself.
I
to
always
it.
say, like, if you want to give a review of any of the Mexican restaurants in Huntington, it just depends on how well you want your colon cleansed. You can pick this one, and it'll cleanse your colons a lot. You
Yup.
know, you go to this one, it's a little bit better, and then this one just full blown blow you out. That's how I rate them.
Maybe
Like, which
you
one's
started
better?
opposite with the Mexican places,
Yeah.
Becca, then you could just do
Yeah.
all your
Yeah,
testing.
like if you're feeling like you need a cleansing, go eat at one of the Mexican restaurants. It
Oh
won't
my
take
God.
long.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
You never have
Oh,
that problem?
heavens.
I do.
See?
I'm just curious on if
We're
it's
going
really
off.
cleansed. Is that a 5-star or is that a 1-star? I'm confused.
We're off the rails.
I try
Okay,
to stay
we're-
away from all of them. So
Okay, let's talk about Jesus. So,
it was
Wait.
Jesus. That's
colon cleansing's talking about Jesus.
it was their lovely dating relationship,
Yeah.
and they were gonna go to. That's why I was saying to
Yes.
think about this. If you were gonna go on a date, and you had the colon cleansing issue,
Oh no,
and you're
you
gonna
wouldn't
be
wanna go
together
on a date.
afterwards, how weird would it be that your first date was at Chavez?
That would tell
You're
you
like,
how-
hold on a second, I gotta go to the bathroom.
That would
Yeah.
tell you how well they liked you if they stuck around.
That's
that
what
might
I'm
be
saying.
okay.
It was.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
okay, I'm in
guess.
for the long haul. This is what it is. Okay, anyways. So, I'm trying to think of this.
You lost your whole train of thought, Jennifer.
Kinda
Come on,
did.
you got it.
Um,
Time travel.
no.
I think that's a good thing.
No, I want to hear more of their story. So, I guess so. What is something? So you've always sounds like you've always kind of believed to God is through your childhood. So when did that become more real to you? Like, were you struggling with something and, you leaned on Jesus and you were like, this was a moment that was defined for you? Does that make sense? I'm trying to think how I want to answer that.
I would never say I really had a big moment, but it was more so I used to go to the Awakening, and I decided to get baptized and just kind of make my faith my own because we always grew up going to church, but then we'd not go for a while and then go for a while and then all that. And then I just decided.
That's where you grew up, going to church?
I grew up in Fort Wayne doing that. And then we didn't go to church at all pretty much throughout my middle school years. But then high school, my mom started taking me to the Awakening. Then I got baptized there. And then that's when I decided to just make it my own rather than being, part of my mom's faith, I guess.
Sure.
So were you poured into, did you have a mentor during that time to help you continue on? Because you were in high school, it sounds like, which that can be a hard age.
Not really, other than my mom. Just, kind of tell me little things of what you should or shouldn't do. And then kind of just figured as much as I could out on my own.
Yeah.
And you had a group of friends that you went to church with, or a group of friends that you were hanging out with that were...
Just me.
Really? Okay.
Just me for the most part.
Because that's unusual, right? So nobody in your friend group was believers? Nobody in your friend group was going to church, or...
Really just me and my mom.
Okay.
And then I just met Becca, and then we started going, and then we started coming here, and
now our friends come.
Yeah, now some of our friends come, but no, at the time, it was just me.
I started going to church and taking it seriously freshman year of college. I would go with my friends. And then I started to decide to take it really seriously. Then I went through a tough time my sophomore year of college. I had a pretty rough roommate situation. And I was just going through it, and I was just my life is crumbling. I literally just saw everything falling apart, and I was I have no idea what's going on right now, but I guess I have to put my faith in Jesus because I can't do anything about it. I am definitely the type of person to control, not crazy, I'm psychotic or anything. It's just I like to be able to make things work the way I want it to work, and so it does stress me out if something doesn't go as planned. I'm very planned oriented. I look towards the future and have my future goals. So I think that's what makes it hard for me to see Jesus in the small things sometimes, because I look at the future and I'm well, he hasn't been doing anything right now, but it's yes, he has. Look at all these tiny things that he has done and has been with me during that all, through it all. And I think it's just because I'm so future oriented. It's just okay, take your blinders off, pay attention.
And what has been the most transformational thing that has made faith either become real, like you said, well, it's, become more real in my life, or it's become, more of a priority, for what you're doing? Has there been certain things that, not that have happened, but for you personally, just, was it coming to church? Was it reading the Bible more? Was it certain messages? Was it you two working together? Where did it help move some of that stuff forward? I don't know if that's the right question.
I think it was a combo.
I would say maybe this is what you're looking for, kind of. I think I'm trying to think. So on TikTok, okay, this is just one example.
Okay,
they do your For You page. So if you scroll certain types of videos, you'll see more of those types of videos. So a lot of my For You page has been Christian stuff. And one thing that's really kind of brought me closer is just realizing literally nothing matters other than Jesus. So just the whole I know you've said before is I could just be driving home and then drunk driver, boom, I'm done. Nothing matters that I did other than
right,
the
Yeah.
if I spread the word to someone, or like if I was able to help lead people to Jesus.
Yeah.
And that is significant. I mean, the thought of like realizing that you got a lot of time, you got a little bit of time, but you know, the only thing that matters is, you know, what we do with that small amount, big amount, whatever that looks like. So yeah, that's cool.
I think it like reels you back in too, because like I think about that at like, you know, I went to college, so I had to take out loans, and I have to remind myself, like, you know, when I die, I am not going to be met with Jesus being like, you have to pay this much to get into heaven, you know, like, so
Right.
that's definitely a big thing. Like, this stuff on earth doesn't matter. Your relationships with people matter, but your material things don't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah. And like as a man, like I'm sure like sometimes I'll get carried away of like because I've always been really into like investing money and stuff like that. And so, you know, I'll be thinking of like all this stuff. I'll get kind of carried away with it, and then I'm like, all this money, it's not even mine. It literally doesn't matter. It could be gone in a matter of seconds. Like I'll get caught up in my head about it sometimes, but it just doesn't matter.
Right. Of what you're going to be doing with your money, so you're prepared for the future, that kind of stuff.
Like get rich. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what sometimes I'll get carried away with. And then I'm like, why though?
Right.
Like, because I'll make sure I do my tithes every week or whatever before investing. And then sometimes I wouldn't say it's like a greed thing, but like sometimes my mind will get carried away of like wanting more.
Yeah, for sure.
Then when it's pointless.
Yeah.
And would you say that, so you said like a lot of your friend group wasn't, you know, that way. So so young couples, do you think that Christ is important in the lives of a lot of young people or young couples growing up? I mean, the people that you know or people that are surrounding you, because we've always talked about, like, where is the younger generation? Like, is it, you know, young married or even before young married? Is it prominent, like with what you guys see, whether it's your friend group or the people that you work around or that you know? Do you think Christ-centered marriages or Christ-centered lives is a prominent thing with young people that?
I think
I'd say not really.
people
Like,
that go to
unfortunately.
Huntington, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. But people who aren't like surrounded by that like lifestyle almost, then no.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get to people like our age, I feel like, because a lot of the times they're like not willing to change their lifestyle. They want to keep partying and
Right.
living in sin. And it's not like we don't sin either. It's just like
No,
we
for sure.
choose to try and live more like Jesus, you know. But I definitely have seen that in my classmates at the Parkview School.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot different from Huntington. And it was almost like a big culture shock because I felt really
really?
alone. I was like, no one is a Christian here. And I was like, I don't know how to get to these people. And it's like, I shouldn't be like that, but it's like, how do I even like start up a conversation? Because I'm not like a super bold person and be like, you're going to hell if you don't believe in Jesus, you know? Like, I just want it to be like a natural conversation.
Sure.
And it's sometimes hard when people aren't Christians.
Right.
So it was like their words or their actions that you know that they're not a Christian?
Both, yeah.
Like what would they say or do?
Oh, just talking about how they party all the time and like sleeping around and doing things like that, or just like making really inappropriate comments. I'm like, ooh.
Just kind of brag about the
Like,
things they're doing.
yeah,
thinking
I'm
that they're
like,
cool or something.
Oh,
and
I
they're
did
doing
not
this
need to
and
hear
or
that. Thank you. Like,
Interesting.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so how do you think for both of you, as you're moving forward, like, is there certain ways that you want God to use you guys individually or as a couple? Is there, like, are you hoping, like, are you dreaming about anything? Are you processing anything? Are you?
Here lately, I've been trying to talk to a lot of my coworkers
Okay.
about it. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people like Kenyon.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, thank the Lord. I mean, he started coming and he's
Right.
been loving it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's been tricky. I mean,
Yeah.
because a place like I work at, you know, one of the responses I got, I was like, "You go to church?" He goes, "Oh, I gave that crap up for Lent." Like, you know, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on,
Yeah, it's
man.
never
like, you know,
great,
it's
Yeah.
it's
workplace
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
conversations.
in like a machine shop.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I always said it when I was a mechanic. I was like, you know, you have a certain culture of people
Yep.
that live in the mechanic world, and it's usually not people that are centered around the thought of, let's have a deep discussion about Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess inviting people to church, and then also, hopefully, by the way I act and show love to people, I'm hoping to be able to bring people
Yeah.
to Christ. Well, Christ change people.
Yeah.
I just plant the seed there.
Right. Right.
Say I'm not going to change anybody.
Right. Yeah.
You guys lead a small group, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So is that going well for both of you doing like ministry together?
Yeah. So right now it's summer break, so we don't have
Yeah.
it
Most of
going
our
on right now
people
because
are
a lot
Huntington.
of them are Huntington students.
Oh,
But-
really?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun when we were doing it. They would come over to our house and we would like have coffee and donuts.
Aw.
So is it like a lot of younger classmen?
Yeah, they were all freshmen, I believe.
Okay. Wow.
So that was different because they were all like 18. I'm like, man, I feel old.
I do feel old though.
Yeah.
It is like that.
How old are you both?
23.
24.
And how'd you get connected with the freshman kids at Huntington? Through you?
Taylor
Just
Petrie.
through Taylor and the
Yeah.
signups.
Taylor was
Oh,
like,
really?
Sign up
hey,
here, Life.
Huntington kids, like sign up. And so they signed up.
Wow.
Yeah, because I don't know any Huntington people anymore because I graduated.
Yeah,
a
that's
year
what I
ago.
thought. So is that what you wanted to do? Is young college?
18
Young-
to 25.
Yeah, young.
That's what we had our
young adults.
group for.
Okay, but it ended up being mostly college
Yeah.
students. So, out of doing your small group, what were some of the things that you learned? Not that you taught them, that maybe through their walk with Christ or what they're struggling with or what they're doing. Are there certain things that came up, or certain things that you guys talked about a lot, or struggles that they might have? Not to have to share their struggles, but you know what I mean,
I
like.
think.
Or did you do more like a sermon series group?
Yeah, we
So
did
you talk
like.
just more about the message and not really about life, or
We talked a lot about the message.
One
We
struggle
like,
I think kind of a lot of people have that we talked about that came up quite a bit is like it never quite feels like you're doing enough.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
Like
main
for
one.
Jesus.
It's like, oh, I'm just chilling like on TikTok, and it's like I should be reading my Bible instead. Like I'm doing something so monotonous, but you
Right.
could be like furthering your relationship with God.
Right. Something that they're trying to, and I just wonder because, you know, sometimes it's a big transition, even with you're a Christian going to a Christian college, you know, sometimes that transition of being away or, you know, it either solidifies faith, you know, like, hey, I've been away and it really solidified my belief, or it was like, oh, wow, I'm away and this is the first time I've kind of done it on my own. I didn't know if any of those conversations came up inside of your small group or.
No, I think it was like everyone was there because they wanted to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they had been coming to life?
They had been coming to life for like a week.
Yeah,
Oh,
And then the
literally
next
a
week
week,
was
and
like
they
sign
signed up.
ups. And then they signed up.
And they were
awesome.
like, "We love Life Church," and I was like, oh, "Okay, cool."
And how did you guys say you ended up at Life?
We were kind of just bouncing around for a couple months at different churches, and we were like, we heard about Life, so we were like, well, let's try Life. And so we've been coming here for like
3 years almost
Right.
ish, if not a little more. I don't
3.5
know.
years.
Something.
Yeah, so you guys came, how long have we been downstairs?
4 years.
4 years. I was going to say, when you said 3.5, I'm like, you kind of came right at the,
It was like right at the end of COVID, kind of.
right.
When like all the other churches were still requiring masks, you guys were the only one not requiring masks. That was kind of great. 'Cause,
Yeah, trying not to require anything.
yeah, heck to the
No
masks.
hand washing stations, no. Do you remember all of those discussions?
Well, yes, I do.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll never forget.
Huh?
I'll never.
You never forget how those conversations went?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always said. Hand washing station. What the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus washed me clean.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
What made it stick for life? Like, what separated, or what was the most important thing?
You
for
were
you?
just real when you would preach. You like literally would wear cowboy boots and like a jersey, and I was like, this man's cool. Like, it's not like you're different compared to any other person in the church. Like, you know, when you go to some churches, it's like the pastor, you're like, oh, it's the pastor.
Oh, yeah. Like they separate themselves, or
Yeah.
they feel separated, whether they do it or not. It feels separated.
And like, I feel like a pastor will always be like kind of like that, because it's like you're the pastor of the church, so you're held to that standard, but like you're still also a human being. So but you're real.
Yeah. That is one thing I'll tell people at work, like to like talk to people. I'm like, the pastor's just a dude. He's just a guy. No, seriously. You know, it's like we're just another, you know, like we're not better than anyone.
Right.
Like
And I
we
do
all-
think that's important
yeah.
regardless. I gotta, you know, I don't know about the whole, probably right, held to the standard, but I'm not sure that pastors should separate themselves out to be like they're on the same journey, walking down the same road, and they're honest, having some of the same struggles that everybody else is,
Right.
you know. And I think that's where, for all of us, I think that's how we relate to people. Like, listen,
Yeah.
we're all going down the same road. We're all trying to figure out, you know, the same things, and we're all trying to understand. So from the time that you came to where you are today, other than your faith, has your view, your thoughts on, like, what has made it so that, yeah, this is some place that I'm going to stay? So, because in the beginning, it's like, oh, the pastor's, you know, normal, but there has to be other things that you found in your church experience that were like, this is why we can call this place home, or this is why we can. Have there been any of those things for you guys?
Yeah, like the relationships we've made. Like Taylor Petrie, he married us, so
Yeah.
that was really fun getting to know him. And then Charity and Nelson Little, I think that was they had a really big impact on us, because we do serve in the kids ministry area.
Oh,
That's really fun. I like
Okay.
that a lot.
I'd say one thing is like the convictions I would get from like the sermons
That too, yeah.
of knowing I need to be doing better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys were in the children's ministry for a long time. Were both of you guys doing it? Or
Yeah.
just,
I was like, hey, if
I'll
we're going to
be
get
honest with you. I would have never done it if it wasn't for Becca.
yeah.
I was like,
Never
if
in a
we're
million
going to
years.
get married, you need to learn how to change a diaper and like be around
Whoa.
kids.
No,
you
like-
know, like because
Well, that's not how it started at all.
But like later
that
in
has
our
been-
relationship, it's like you need to get around kids and
yeah.
No, because she was talking about like this would be a good way to serve and
Yeah.
do all that stuff, and, I
And
was
be
like,
around kids. Kids
I'm
are
like,
fun.
ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. How was it?
Juan's never really been around kids
No, I've
until
never,
now.
never. I mean, I went to a daycare when I was like a little kid, but since then, nothing. But no, I mean, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome being able to serve and also, because we usually do nursery now,
Oh,
so being able to
I
hang out
love
with
the
babies.
babies.
Oh, you get 'em.
because we were in like the 4-5 room, and that was like
That was tough.
I was stressed the
tough.
whole time. Because like you know they're all their own little personality at that point. They give
Right.
you sass, and you're like, how do I handle this?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
and
just wait. Like you're lucky you're not my kid. It's gonna be my kid one day.
That's always the funny thing when you're around somebody else's kids. You're always like, I hope mine, or either, man, I hope my kids like that, or I hope they never turn out that way.
yeah.
Yeah. And so Nelson and Charity, were they the first people that you guys got relatively close to? Or were there, because how did you build a relationship with Taylor?
I have no idea.
Were you in his young adult group? Did you do that on Sunday mornings? No, you didn't do that?
I don't know how the heck we started talking to Taylor, honestly.
I don't know either.
Trevor West. Trevor West would talk about him sometimes.
Yeah,
And
he
then-
plays basketball with some of my buddies.
So you're a basketball guy?
No.
You're friends with Trevor West?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm a pickleball guy.
Okay. Because Trevor, so when I coached football, over at Huntington,
Yeah.
you know, through that, and Trevor and Connor and,
yep.
the West family and,
Yep.
yeah. So, are you good at pickleball?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you
I
really?
played for like 5 years.
Yes.
Wow. Do you go to like any of the pickleball
Like
tournaments and stuff?
I've played in only like 2 actual tournaments, but like I've gone to like little YMCA tournaments here and there.
Okay.
but I just got a membership at Ace Pickleball in Fort Wayne, and they have a lot of free tournaments. Well, free because you got to pay a membership every month, but then the tournaments are free after you have the membership and stuff. So yeah.
So, how often are you playing?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on like weather, or like last week we went to Ace like 3 times.
Okay.
Me and my buddy Nate, we always play together, and it just depends.
So you guys play as a team?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They're
I'll play.
good.
Sometimes I'll play like
They're good.
I'll play like 5 times a week, and other times it's only like 1 time.
Yeah. Steven, my son-in-law, is a huge pickleball guy. He goes to all the tournaments and loves it. And it's funny to see young people get involved because when pickleball first came out, it was
Old
like
meant for old
the
people.
old. Yeah, it's supposed to be old people tennis. You know, 'cause you don't have to move as much, and then all of a sudden the young people started taking it over, and
Blew up.
It's fun to play with the old people, though.
yeah,
They are
Do you
big trash
play?
talkers.
They're trash talkers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how it used to be when I played racquetball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to play racquetball at the Y and then at Huntington University, and there was a guy there this old guy that played all the time, and it's like he looked half dead. Like he seriously looked half dead, and I'd go in there and play him. He'd beat me every single time, because they just know how to place the ball. They know how to hit it in the right places, how to do the right thing. Had nothing to do with athleticism. Well, some to do with athleticism. But yeah, I feel like pickleball is somewhat the same way.
Yeah, like the athleticism helps, but if you can place your shots, because I played with a 91-year-old.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I was 19 at the time, so I was like, our ages are flipped.
Wow.
Wow.
So is
He
it kind
couldn't-
of like a mind game a little bit? Like to know where to get the...
Kind of.
ball?
Like there's there's a lot of placement. A lot of placement, when to take the right shot, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
skill, finesse.
Yeah.
Would you be a good pickleball player, Jennifer?
I do not know. I mean, when I was growing up, I liked to play tennis. I mean, I did like tennis.
You're a tennis player?
I didn't even know.
Huh?
No. Eric and I were dating. We actually bought tennis rackets and tried to go play tennis, and it failed. But that was something I did enjoy in gym class. In gym class, I enjoyed playing tennis. That's where my tennis days ended. I did, but I liked it.
See,
I
that's
liked
what you
it,
need to
so-
do is you need to get Eric and Jennifer out on the court to play pickleball with you
Teach
guys.
them
love
how
to.
to
Hey,
play
my
some
kids have
pickleball.
pickleball rackets, so I've got gear. So
Okay.
I could go play. So yeah, we could do a double date sometime. We'll go to
Yeah.
Chavez and we'll go play pickleball. No, but
They
Not
don't
Chavez.
go to Chavez anymore.
Magatis.
We already talked about this. If
I
you go to
forgot.
Chavez and play pickleball, you're gonna be crapping
Okay.
your
Yeah.
pants out on the pickleball court. Like we already know that's the case. We just said that there's got to be porta potties
forgot.
or something close.
that was 30 minutes ago. I forgot.
Sorry, you got
I'd ask them a couple of questions. They have answers that they had sent me back. So I just want to ask one of the last ones that I did. You know, when did God show up in your life that you least expected it? You know, when did you were struggling with something and God was right there? We can show people that God is alive and He's real and you can trust Him. And
I can go first.
Yeah.
Okay. So last year, it was like a month before graduation. I said, I don't have a job. So that was very stressful because I was like, how am I supposed to pay for things if I don't have a job? Because I'm not going to be relying on my parents. Blah, blah, blah. I just started applying and I was getting denied at Parkview because I didn't have enough experience. And I was like, well, I went to school for 4 years and I don't have enough experience. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I guess. I have the education. It's like education experience. You have to outweigh them. And so I applied to Pathfinder Services. And I was like, this can be my backup plan. And so I got an interview and I got the job through Pathfinder. Pathfinder. I became a house manager at Pathfinder, and I worked there for like 6 months, and I knew that I wanted to further my education some way, somehow. I still wanted to do something with science, but I really did like have this hole in my heart when I left Pathfinder, because I really did like get really close with the people that I worked with, the clients. So it was really sad when I left, but I was like, well, maybe I can apply to Parkview again. And so I applied at Parkview Randalia, and they
wow.
took people like just not off the streets, like they
Yeah,
just like.
right.
But I had no experience. I had a biology degree, and the lab manager was like, "Why the heck aren't you doing anything with it?" And so I was like, "Okay," and so I became a phlebotomist, and I was like, "Thank
A
you,
what?
Jesus, a phlebotomist, a person that
Blood.
draws your blood."
Blood.
Oh, I was thinking something else, but that's okay.
See, Taylor
your brain?
Petrie thought it was a lobotomy, and I was like, "No, I do not like drill holes in people's
Yeah,
brains." Like,
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better sleep with your eyes open, Juan,
Okay.
because she's going to come after you.
Phlebotomy? Why don't they just call it blood drawer? I mean,
Well, because like the word, the compound word is phleb, which is vein.
phleb.
Otomy is like
Phleb means vein in Spanish or what?
it's like
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like phleb.
I don't know. Do you know what I mean, Jennifer?
I do know what you mean.
You don't. You're lying.
it's a medical
You don't know
term.
what you're saying. You're telling me the real medical term for a vein is phleb?
It's like
Can
the
look at all that
breakdown.
guy's flexing his muscles. You can see his phleb everywhere. Look at all those phlebs. He's got so many phlebs in his calves. Look at him. Is this true?
It's like a medical terminology.
Okay.
That's how you break down the word.
Got
Phleb,
Kind of like
vein.
root words. You
Yes.
know, like root words as you're growing up. Like,
Nope. Tell me one.
okay,
I'm being really honest. Tell me a root word when I was growing up. That,
I don't even.
I don't know. I can only tell you a medical term.
okay. I'm sorry.
Phleb, vein. Otomy is like insertion into
Into
kind
the phleb.
Into the phlebs.
the phleb.
Into
Yep.
the phleb.
Yep. So
Stick
insertion
it in.
into vein to get blood. Yep.
Okay. Look at that. I've got,
Learned
a,
something
I've got half a medical degree now.
Yep. Essentially. So I started working at Randalia for like 3 months. And
Were you a good sticker?
yeah.
Really?
Yep. I was told that they never felt me. I was also like,
Wow.
I don't want to hurt you, so I didn't really like, people jab sometimes.
Oh,
I did not want to be that person.
yeah. I feel like the blood drawing people are the most hated people ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they come in and it's like they
And
can't find a vein.
Every
and-
time people are just so grumpy. I mean, you're in the hospital, you don't feel good, so yeah, you're going to be grumpy, but it's like, man.
Yeah, I
Everyone
was
hates
surprised
us.
because Sherry always got, through all of her medical stuff, we're in the hospital all the time and she's getting her blood drawn. They can never figure it out. Well, the last 3 years, there was was it a ultrasound thing like they
Oh,
used
yeah.
to do it and then they could find it all the time.
Yeah.
Like it was a complete change.
I'm surprised like she didn't have like a central line or something.
Yeah, I mean, at the end,
She
they
did.
put the port
Okay.
in, and so they could do that. But all the other stuff is you're going in and
Getting it
something's
checked.
wrong and you need to draw blood, or you're going in and it's just like, yeah. Anyway, and it was always, you feel terrible for them because they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I keep missing. I got to call my manager in.
Yeah,
I've
no,
stuck
that's
you 10
literally the
times
worst
now, so
feeling.
let me call the manager.
That's the worst feeling when you fail on the second one. You're like, oh gosh,
yeah.
I have to call someone else and be like, yep, I missed their vein.
So you only get 2 tries?
Yeah, that's
2
like
tries.
a law or something. You
Yeah.
can't stick them.
That's the law.
Something like that. I don't know. Parkview
Anyway,
policy.
I'm going down the wrong track of messing up your God story coming through. So
So I worked at Randalia for like 3 months, and I found out that they had a medical lab science school at Randalia.
Oh, wow.
And so my manager was like, well, why don't you apply? So I applied thinking, oh, I'll start in the summertime, like this summer, 2024. And the instructor or like the director of the school was like, hey, actually we need spots filled, so why don't you just start in the winter? And so I literally was like, hey, Juan, what do you think? We're trying to get married in June, and should I start school or should I wait until summer? And he was like, no, you should just start.
Get her done.
And
Get her
so
done.
that was definitely a big God thing because
Wow.
I was like, I don't know. I was struggling a lot when I was a phlebotomist because I worked second shift. I didn't see any of my friends. And Juan was always sleeping when I was,
Oh.
working because he worked first shift. So it was just very tough
Right.
on my mental health. But I was glad to get a good call and start school again, even though it does suck a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it is what it is with school right now. I'm
How long
almost
will
done.
How long?
I
is
get
the
done in
program?
January.
Nice.
So
Wow.
I just have to pass a certification exam.
Awesome.
Is that
That's not going to be easy.
it's not going to be easy? Okay.
Nope.
Easy for you, though. Yeah.
Sure. Maybe.
You got
You
it.
made it this far, yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell Juan that I think I'm going to fail my exam.
Juan will be a
She'll
good-
cry before her test and then pass it, and then pass it the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, get
Well,
an
it's
A
like,
plus.
okay, a 75 is failing. So I always feel like I have an impending doom every time I go in to take an exam. But I pass it typically all the time.
Yeah.
But it is stressful because I'm like, man, I don't want to fail.
Yeah, that would, yeah. It's a lot of work to then have to have
Yes.
everything depending upon a test.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah.
So when did God show up for you?
I mean, me personally, I would say he's always showing up. But, I mean, I guess here's just a cool little story. I was on my way to the hospital because I had a doctor's appointment. And it was in Bluffton because I used to work in Bluffton. So I was just driving, hit a patch of ice, swerved, left lane. No one was there, thankfully. Overcorrected, straight off into the ditch. So I was like, I got to freaking make it to the doctor's appointment. So I'm like calling my mom, asking what I should do. Then this guy pulls up, like stranger danger. But this guy pulls up. He's like, "Are you okay? Like, are you hurt? Are you fine?" I was like, I'm fine. I just got to get to the doctor's. So he's like, "You need a ride?" And so I had like knife on me, whatever. I was like, nervous. Really? Yeah. I was like nervous, I was like stranger danger. And then he took me there, and then he's like, "Hey, call up these people. They'll be able to get you your car and tow it out." And so then they picked me up from the hospital and then took me to my car, and then I drove it home.
Really?
That was just
I
kind of a
had
cool
no
little.
idea
What?
that happened.
Yeah, it was just
What
like
the-
literally
You
everything.
didn't know that?
I knew he
Everything worked
crashed
out.
and went into a ditch one time before we started dating.
Yeah.
But I didn't know all that.
Everything worked out perfectly.
Did you know he carried a Rambo knife all the time?
Now you need to sleep with your eyes open.
Yeah,
You
literally.
guys are there.
What the heck?
Is that really a thing? Like, do you carry a knife with you all the time?
Well, it was in my car.
Oh,
it was in my
God.
car, so I was like,
No, I didn't know if like you're like that's your personal carry
no.
thing. Like
It's
you're-
not
like you're into that.
like a Mexican thing.
I didn't mean it that way. I was just saying, some
it was-
people carry guns. You're like might be a knife specialist that we don't know about.
It was I had in my car. I was about to hop into this guy's car, so I was
Yeah.
like,
I mean, your name is Juan Martinez.
yeah, exactly.
Like you just
for a reason. No, the butterfly. No,
that's what I'm saying. See,
it was just I was hopping into a stranger's car at the time, and I was like, better keep something on me.
yeah,
So
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
yeah, but no, I mean, everything couldn't have worked out better.
yeah.
Told me right out. I drove it home, and then
Seeing God in the small things.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing.
Yeah,
that's
like-
important. Yeah, to be able to see.
like there was
that.
no one in the left lane because I was in the left lane for a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I was on. I wasn't even going fast. It just whoop, and then straight off the road.
yeah, it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, so we're at the end. Jennifer, you have any more questions? Yeah, so we again, thank you guys for coming on. Thanks for taking an opportunity to, share your story. And again, thank you for being a part of Life Church. That's I just love for young people when they've come and they find their place, and not only find your place, like you don't just come and consume. Like you're here and you serve. And not only that, I mean, I've heard of people that have come because you've invited them and their life, you know what I mean? Like their lives have been changed and people have been baptized. Like you're in direct line of people that because you chose to invite or because you chose to invest, that eternity's different because of that. So, I mean, I just want to say thank you because you don't see too many people that are that highly like, hey, I want to be used and I want to do. And so thank you for, doing that and being a part of it. And we look forward to seeing like what the future is and how God's going to continue to use you guys and, do amazing things down the road. So when this comes out, make sure that you like, share, or comment. So that way their story can get out to other people. If you're listening, make sure that you watch so that you can go on. If you don't know Juan and Becca, you can get an idea what they look like, and you can come up and say hi. I think Sunday, are you second service?
Second service.
Yeah. Come to the second service. You can come up and say hi, get to know them. And while you're on our YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe so you can get all the new stuff that's coming out. So thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.